Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about something really exciting. We're going to talk about relationships. And how many of you have ever felt that once your friend is in a relationship, you cannot lose them? You don't see them anymore? If they're invited to a gathering, they don't show up to the gathering, even though you had that invitation months in advance? And then when you ask him or her, why didn't you come? He says, well, my girlfriend didn't feel to be by herself, and she didn't feel going anyway. So at the end, I ended up not going. Don't you see something wrong with that? Don't you see something that is not working? And today we're going to be talking just about that. And this episode is dedicated to one of my best friends who are around here who is going through the same thing. So actually, I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm talking to you right now. So what happened with you? Let me explain what's going on. First of all, I want to use this graphic. Over here you have the intensity of the relationship. Over here you have the time. The blue are the boys. The intensity of the boys is when the boys start their relationship, their intensity is really high. And they just lose intensity a lot, really fast. And then they start growing back up again. Now what happened with the girls? The girls' intensity is low, but is actually steady in the way how it is increasing. Now, if you pay attention to this, it's really interesting. Why this intensity of the guys actually comes down, and it's really something that is normal. What happened is we as a guy, we like to achieve things. For example, we like to work in projects. So maybe to find this girl is a project, and you want to do it. So you work that out, you prepare the things, you strategize, you do everything to get her. Once you get her, you just accomplish something. So your interest goes down. Now what is interesting about this is that when you realize that this interest can actually get her lost, your relationship will be done, you start growing up again this interest, but in a different way. Now, if you notice, here you have some points. In this point, for example, is when the girlfriend start complaining about, I don't feel that you are with me so much. Or, I don't feel that you love me. And because you do have some feelings, even though the intensity is low, you start sacrificing some things and doing some things extra to make her feel loved. For example, not going to the Saturday gathering because you want to make her feel good. Now, what is interesting about this is the relationship just basically start diminishing in this way. I have another friend who the other day came and talked to me, and they were boyfriend and girlfriend with this girl for so many years. And at one point he came and talked to me and he said, JC, I can't stand anymore. I don't have a life. All my 2 years, 3 years, since I was 16 years old and now I am 19, I have been with her. And everything that I have done is for her. And I realized that I don't know much. And that is what is going to happen to my friend who didn't go to the gathering, by the way, if he continues that way. But what is interesting is if you realize that this type of relationship needs to be different, you will put some type of things that will help it out. Number one, what are the things in your life that are non-negotiables? And I think one of those things in your life that should not be negotiable is the fact of being who you are or of having your friends. It is healthy. It is healthy to have friends to go out, especially if you have friends who are not bad, friends who are not taking you to drink or doing other type of things. But the friends who will help you to see just things differently. Why? Because once you go to those friends, you can come back to your girlfriend and being excited about being with her and tell her about your life. I want to tell you something, relationship is something like eating a chocolate. If you eat a chocolate every single day, every single time, it gets to the point that you don't want to eat a chocolate anymore. You need to change flavors. You need to just have some rest. And when you have that rest, you come back and you are able to have a good taste of the chocolate, to really understand and appreciate it. And it's the same with the relationships. We need to be able to balance our life. We cannot just be with our girlfriend or our boyfriend all the time because you lose who you are. The other day I have a girl who came to my office and she was telling me, my boyfriend, I mean, he didn't want me to dress in the way how I used to dress. I like to dress a little bit different, but and he just didn't like me to dress like that. And because he didn't like me to dress like that, I started changing. I didn't want to dress anymore like that. And I asked her, how did that make you feel? And she's like, horrible. Because I stopped being who I am. In the way how I was dressing, there is nothing wrong with that. But just he didn't like it. And what is sad about that is after we talked to the two of us, and I told her that, you know, you need to grow in yourself, you need to love yourself to be able to be with someone. Then later on, she decided to go back with him to give another opportunity. And that is the thing that I was talking about, the non-negotiables. Now, pay attention to this. In this type of relationship that is kind of normal, it gets to the point that the two of you are in the same page. And that is when the relationship becomes stable. Many times, if we make the decision to get married in this point or in this point, it may not be the right moment. We need to just make sure that we have time to get to know each other. Now, what happens if in all these dynamics we just add sex until in the equation? Now you are sexually active with this person. If the dynamics as it is makes you just focus in one person, having sex with this person just makes you forget about anything else. And what is interesting about having sex in a relationship is many times get to know ourselves without sex is more difficult to actually have sex, to get to know each other with sex. Why I'm saying this? Because the relationship like that needs to develop in the way of communication, needs to develop in the way of dealing to each other, needs to develop in the way of how you are as a person by yourself. But once you put sex in this equation, you stop all type of development process that is there. Why am I saying this? Because once you put sex into this, every time that you have a fight, the best way to resolve the fight is by what? Having sex. And then you have sex and you're happy for the next 15 days and then something happens and goes back at him and then you fight and then have sex again and you start having this relationship that is really not healthy. So not to have sex in a relationship is more difficult and is more you will gain more things back than to actually have sex. Now many people ask me, when is the right moment to have sex? I don't know. That's a really difficult question to ask. I would say maybe the right moment to have sex, depending on your age, your time, where you are in your life, it maybe is when you are committed to that person. When you know that that person will be with you forever. Now some of you will tell me, whoa, what's going on with that? Well, let's think about it. If you start having sex here, sex there, sex here, sex there, what's going on with your own relationship? Do you think a healthy relationship will be able to grow? So the question to you I have, and I hope you actually start thinking about this, is what type of relationships do you want to have? I want to make sure to let you know that I am not an expert, that I am not the person who says that knows everything, but that is something that I have been thinking about it. The ideas of these videos is for you to talk about it. Talk to your parents, talk to your friends, talk to someone who knows. But more than anything, think about what type of relationship do you want to have? How can you have a healthy relationship that will last forever with the person that you want to love forever? See you next week, and I hope you have a good time.